It's YouTube Wednesday. I just got to explain this one. What I have here is the contents for the controller. I just got back from Home Depot. I just bought all this stuff. Everything in this bag was $36. So there is that. I love these things. These are super awesome for a beginner. Maybe you don't know a lot about controllers yet, and you just want to have an introduction to what these guys do. This is a great way to work props and stuff. So what this is a $14 motion security light. It has to have a motion sensor on it, and it has to have a test feature down here. There's a switch, and on that switch there's a couple settings, and one says test. That's the one that I like to put these on for what we're doing here. What else I have, I did get a box to put it in. That's for later. Extension cord. You are wiring up something electronic. This is electricity. This is 110. So this cord is on the thin side, but I'm connecting to the wires on this light, and I'm not going to stress this light. See these two wires? That's pretty thin gauge wire. If you wanted to beef up this cord, if I was putting this in a house somewhere, I might put on a beefier cord for sure. But I want this to be able to plug in so that this will operate. So this end I keep. This end I'm going to undo. You could also buy Romex cable, indoor or outdoor, and wire the plug on yourself, and then wire it into this, which is what would be running through walls or whatever when you normally wire this up. This is a mobile application for this same kind of thing. Get a good cord that is, UL listed and all that stuff. So I'm just stripping the wires on this cord. These wires came pre-stripped. These guys did not. I have black wire to a black wire and a white wire, and a black wire and a white wire. So that's how I'm going to wire it. But I want to wire it through this box. So I'm going to punch out one of the sides of the box. This is a 98-cent box. And to do that, I'm just going to run this through here, like so. Now I'll be able to put all the wires in there and be safe. Safe-ish. This is super simple. White to white. Black to black. This is wired up. Let's test this real quick. La. Okay, so timer, it went off 4 seconds. Something moved, it went back on. So 4 seconds, and that's that test setting. So I'm going to go ahead and move on it. I'm going to move. Remember, the motion sensor is over there, and it went off. That's cool. It's neat that we turned a light on, but let's do some other cool stuff with it. Let's unplug it while we're setting up this next part. Note, it is unplugged right now. Taking out the light bulbs. And I have these. These are socket to outlet adapters. And this is a plug. And it screws into the light socket. So now, when this goes off, anything that plugs in and I can leave on will be operated by this motion sensor. This is an adapter to turn a 3-prong plug into a 2-prong plug. Remember, this does not have a ground. I'm just using that adapter as a handle to make screwing this in a lot easier. And then I will leave the adapter on there. Let's go ahead and finish out this bit. I'm going to put these guys in here, put all of this in here. Grab a screwdriver. I now have my box. It is boxed and it is screwed to the light fixture. It comes with a gasket. You can get an outdoor box for this if you're going to use it outdoors. My intention, I'm going to silicone around here. If I use it outside, I'll caulk this up to get it waterproof. But this is the setup. I mean, this is set. Let me get a couple things to plug into this and show you guys how this works. And test. Oh, snap. What we have here is we have our light plugged into this side, and we have our saw plugged into this side over here. This is kind of a wiring test before I put it all together. Let's walk around and set off the motion sensor. See how it goes on for 4 seconds? And then if I set it off again, it'll go off again. So I'm going to make this a little less sensitive. And I'm going to take a plastic cup that I cut the end out of, and I'm going to just tape it over this. And then my cup happens to be clear, so I would tape this over as well. Let's go get that taped up. Now, while that's kind of a big unit, it's really not that hard to hide, simply because you also have the length of the extension cords too, so that this doesn't have to be right where your action is. You know, you can have that be in other places. See, and I'm just taping this off because my cup is clear and I don't know how easy that would be to affect it. What I'm effectively doing though is making kind of a cannon out of the sensor so that it is going to shoot its beam in a narrower field. You can do this to a high pro level with PVC pipe or any kind of a custom baffle, or you could use a plastic cup and some duct tape. There is not really electronics on this end that are going to heat up and cause any problem with the tape or the plastic. Now that's not the best outdoor solution, so you know, you figure that out. All right, I have myself set up here. Let's plug it in and test again. Whenever you turn it on for the first time, you are going to get a little bit of a longer run, and these aren't super precise. That's why You know, big time pros don't use them. They're going to go to a Fright Props controller or something else. This is very much a starter, simple. I don't rely on one of these. I might put 10 of these in an area in order to make sure that, you know, 2 or 3 things trigger every time a group goes through. But this is a little more precise. And I have a triggerable. This can be anything, guys. You could put this in a kitchen scene, and that's a blender that triggers, and a light inside a refrigerator. This could be in a graveyard, where this triggers your wiper motor, and then the other one triggers a powered speaker, which is always playing music but doesn't always have power. Your imagination is the limit. Anything that you can plug in and turn on to get a scare. I've seen these used with vacuum cleaner motors inside of a haunted house that, you know, the vacuum cleaner motor is set and it blows air on people. It makes that horrific noise that vacuum cleaners make. But having a setup cheap, effective, and pretty easy to put together. Again, this setup was $35. Whatever it's powering is up to you. And you have lots of customizing options.
Go make stuff!